Hello and welcome to another episode of Really Texts. So inconvenient, but at times convenient as well. But anyway, welcome to another episode. A little bit of a mix of an episode. If you want to know why there's not been a lot of Fat Betty action, you have to go to Instagram at Nathan's Garage Official. I'm doing all this cross format advertising stuff. Okay, that's done. So go there, find out about Fat Betty, and then here we've got a little bit of Project X-Rated and construction. The reason, I shouldn't tell you that, because if I tell you that, then you won't go to Instagram. Okay, let's get on with it.
This is one of the main reasons why there's not been many videos, because this is all going on in the house right now. Yep. This is officially the calm after the storm, and there have been many people in our house all day. And when somebody says you can stay in your house while you have work done to it, when you live in a 2-bed, 1-bath, don't believe them. There you go. Wall gone. There used to be like a whole wall here and a door and a wall there. All gone. And ta-da! No doorway. That's gone. So the kitchen is all kind of one piece. Kind of crazy. So yeah, so then round here, we come in here and there's been lots of storm. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's not going to get edited out. So in here, plenty has been going on as well. We have tile. It's like a grown-up bathroom with tile. Yay! Awesome. And then in here, that got a hole made in it. Don't really know why. And then the door is there. And then in here, there is no door anymore. It's just a wall. There you go. Tour done. First nighttime filming. Okay, so we're still a little bit delayed on Betty. She's still where she is. But we have progress. The pod is back, so our belongings for our house are in there. The garage is becoming mine again. Some stuff has left and gone into the house. But it's like 7:30 at night. We have cleaned cushions that are just in the back garden. We have stuff everywhere, and I'm cooking my dinner on the microwave, which is on the back porch of our house right now. So yeah, so that's why just production of Betty has slowed down a little bit. But hopefully I'll get a bit more of X-rated up in the next couple of days. Okay, so we're taking a step back before we take a step forwards. This car's got a Rapido intercooler kit on it, all the way down there, but I'm going to get rid of it. And that's going to be a direct pipe that's going to go from the turbo straight to the inlet. I don't like the length of piping on the Rapido kit, and it's just not my thing. So I'm going to sell it, hopefully get some funds we can spend on it. Nice. So this is the turbo inlet pipe. So you can see right there that hole that was tapped for like a turbo bypass valve return something or other. So JB Weld came to the rescue there, put a piece of tape on the inside. And then that block off there is the return for the oil cap breather. But I'm going to return that to a catch can because I just want to see how she's breathing on the top end and how much oil she would be shoving back into here. There is the newly simplified intake for Project X-Rated, the XR of course. So that's that block off, and all the other various vacuums and stuff have been blocked. Now we're going to drop the tank. Now when the tank is full of fuel, it's really heavy. So this is the return side of the fuel pressure regulator. Now what people say to do is turn it on, let it idle, and a majority of the fuel that gets returned to the tank as opposed to run the engine. The engine only takes a little bit and a majority gets returned to the tank. Now I want to empty the tank as much as I can. But the car doesn't idle very well. It had a honking great misfire last time I tried to start it. So I don't know how this is going to work, but it's jerry-rigged. Let's see. Right, take two. Because some of the more eagle-eyed among you, really, seriously, god damn it, may have noticed that I used this, which was the fuel supply, not the fuel return. Thus the car wouldn't work and fuel started squirting everywhere. Rather dangerous. Gonna go and get a watering can full of water now. But yeah, so we're on the return this time into the can. Okay, take two. This is working treat. This is MC2 Racing or MC Squared Racing's trick. Look at this. You can see there. So that is the return line. That's the fuel that is usually going back to the gas tank. So it comes off the return line there and into there. Dirty, horrible, 17-year-old rusty gas. As you can see, the need for a radiator is definitely confirmed. It's insane how black the gas is in there. I mean, that should be clear. You should be able to see red. And you can definitely not see red in there. Alrighty then. So, gas tank is out, and it's not a very sexy process, so I didn't film it. But here she is in all her splendor. So I've just put a load of stuff, chemicals and stuff on that to clean it off. And then that's like a lock snap ring type thing that I've got to tap round, and that'll come out, and then I will find this, which is the in-tank fuel pump, which on an XR is just a lift pump, and then there's an external fuel pump about there. So what I've got to now do is combine the wiring to go all the way back to the tank to supply full power to this Pontiac GTO fuel pump, which I think is rated for like 210 litres per hour, which is going to be plenty for this car, which was given to me by a damn fine gentleman called Brett, who had a black LS2 XR40i, and you can search that on YouTube because his build was insane, and unfortunately a brake line failed and he crashed it, and it wasn't his fault. So really unfortunate end to that car, which was an awesome build. But this is the fuel pump out of it. This is a GM gauge sender, so we're going to see what that one's like, see what condition it's in, because I fear it's going to be really rusty because the fuel gauge isn't working in the XR. So we're going to see what kind of like good bit we can make out of these two. Right, so I've just broken it free, and we are both seeing this for the same time. At the same time, sorry. What is it going to be like inside? Oh, she's rusty. Whoa. Look at that. Yep. Definitely on the rusty side of life. I hope you guys can see this, but it's not, you can't even see through it. You can't even see through the gas. Jesus, so that's the last of the dregs that I poured out. Now there's a little bit left in the tank, and I can actually hear the rust, like gravel sloshing around inside. So I'm gonna get a kitchen roll, I think, and start to see if I can dig it out. There you can go. I mean, this is just the first couple of like rags. Look at that, all rust, like flaky rust from inside the tank. This is the rust that made it down my driveway in the rinsing process. So there we have it. So one Pontiac GTO high pressure fuel pump, which replaces a lift pump, which is going to delete the main fuel pump, the exterior fuel pump from the XR. So that's in. Wiring spliced in with the connectors that cover each other, and high pressure fuel injection fuel hose and fuel injection hose clips. So, game on. This is definitely a punt in the dark. The filter on this feels really, really intricate and good. That's good for this tank. Okay, so because I have been thwarted by the fuel return clips, and they ain't going to be here for a couple of days, I thought, why not try and take some more rust out of the tank? So this is a spare sender setup that I've got that's gutted inside. semi-sealed the lines and the vapor vent thing. And what I'm going to do is, because there's a lot of rust on this upper area, because obviously the old gas sits and then the condensation happens on the top of the tank. So what I'm going to do, and I've not really been able to get down there, I can't get my hand in there because there's a baffle that comes up about this high, so I just can't access this area, so I don't know what that's like. So what I'm going to do is, I bought 15 gallons of white vinegar. So I'm going to put the tank on its end. It's going to kind of look like that, and I'm literally going to fill it with white vinegar and leave it. This here is a complete shot in the dark. So this float had gas in it. I mean, who knows? I mean, one of the seams may have gone. And I put JB Weld, you know, scoured it up so it was rough. Put JB Weld over the hole, and it kept going through the hole. So I took a little bit of kitchen towel, tore it off and laid across the hole, and then matted JB Weld on it. I don't know, maybe too heavy, but I've soaked this sender in WD, and it moves freely under its own, or moves freely under gravity now. So yeah, let's see if the fuel gauge works. Here's the fuel pump wiring. Comes up, hits the main loom right around here somewhere, and then the ground which comes back from the pump goes into a resistor wire here. You can see a resistor, and runs and runs and runs and runs, and then he's joined into this other bunch of grounds here. And I was having a bit of a panic, thinking, oh my god, how am I going to solder a new length of wire back into this circuit? But a guy who did it did a really obvious thing that I never thought of just grounding it to the actual body. So chopping it there, putting a ring terminal on it, and grounding it to the body. And then the pump should get 12 instead of, I think, 9 volts, and I think we should be tickety-boo and ready to go. Game on. Yay, happy days. So she has a single Pontiac GTO LS V8 fuel pump in her in-tank now. We've got the ground running to the body, so that's getting full power, and we tightened up the Rapido exhaust, which I thought was rusted, but was just loose. So that's that, running great. So we'll put a few tanks through it, see how she does. Next, it's going to be wheels.